Okay guys, what we've got here, we've got our lookout tower, part of the Northern Settlement set. Also you can buy this separately as well as a product, which is great because people are going to want lots. I'm going to want lots of these towers sort of like scattered around, so that's really cool. Consists of 2 sheets, this one here and this one here, which has got a few little fences and bits and pieces on it, and this has got the main tower on it. It's really cool. We're going to basically make this little item here, which is great because you can put all your little palisade walls and everything like that, however you want to do this, you know. So yeah, really like this particular set, so I'm gonna start, and I think with this in particular, what we're going to do first is we're just going to put together that main structure tower. So I'm going to pop out these parts here and probably a platform here as well. Yep. Okay, so we've got basically these side pieces and the first platform, and you'll notice there's lots of little bits to pop out on these, and again, we don't want to chuck those away. I've got all these little bits and pieces here, make great little scatter, and also you'll notice, I'm sure, that as you pop these bits out of here, there's lots of bits of parts of other items on here, like chairs and shields and stuff, so obviously you need to keep them, some crates and things, you need to keep that all safe. Okay, so on here you'll notice we've got two of these bits that have got like a side wooden plank here. They're going to be the sides. You've got this one here, which is the front, and I forgot to pop that little bit out there. And then this one, which ultimately I guess could be the back. And we've got this platform. So I'm basically going to slot this together. Now, when you slot this together, it's kind of you kind of need to line it up like this across here, and then make sure it's fully in and pop it down. So there's no clips on this. Okay, and then you can do the same with the other side. Oops. And this, you'll see already, gives you that kind of structure. And I've got it so that the stamp side is always facing out, so that's where it's got a little bit more curve, and that means that these torch slots here, instead of being lined up, they're kind of separated a bit, which makes it, for me, I don't like them lined up just necessarily like that. That's how I've got it over here. You separate them out, it just makes it look a little bit more rickety-shickety. I know that's not a word, but we'll keep using it. And then same at the back, we're going to just slot this one into the back of here. And that gives you your base tower. Now you've also got this piece here, which is your little platform. We just pop that in there and turn it, and then there's just enough room to kind of lift that and move that in, and then we drop this down, and that's a nice solid platform inside, or at the front. There's a little tab here that you poke it at the back through. Okay, and that is basically the main structure of the tower, which is perfect. No clips required, nice and simple. Okay, so that's this bit. Next thing we're going to do is just going to pop a roof on top, so I'll grab that. Okay, so there's my roof. You've just got my roof and the clip here. Not much to do on this really. That's it, and I've got that like that. That clip's a bit tight. I probably needed to just maybe widen that just a little bit there, but I'm quite happy with that. A little bit of a gap there as well, so I could deepen that slot as well. But for me, I'm happy with that, and I'll put that on there, and that will basically just sit there like so, which I think is really nice. You've got that as your base tower, and like I say, you could have multiples of these. Nice and simple, and you can basically, you know, just have a great big long wall and yeah, just big battlements, etc. Okay, so in its essence, that's it. There are a couple of little greebly things around here, things like these little torches and stuff. So I'll pop those off, and they will slot in these little side pieces here that we spoke about. One in there and one in there, which is cool. Adds a little bit of extra X factor, as it were. And again, you've got like little shields and things that you can pop out and just grab a little blue tack, etc. And you can see here, I've done it with this one on the side here. You literally you can just stick those on the side, and all those little bits and pieces just help to add that, like I say, that little bit of X factor, which is great. And in essence, that's basically the tower. It's really quick and easy to assemble. And yeah, you can have multiples of these. They look really great. There is a bunch of other stuff on here as well, though. If we look at these sheets, so we have got things like with these bits we popped out as well. We have got some crates as well. There's a box crate on there. We've also got a small chest, and we've got like a little map. We've got some little sort of push-out swords on here as well and things. They look really great. You could sort of like put those, you know, inside here, like little bits of blue tack, just, you know, or just, you know, rest them inside for decoration, etc. So they're all really good, and they're all covered on our dedicated scatter video, so you can have a look at those. Also on here, we've got some other cool little things. So we have got one of these little barriers here. So you've got a couple of these kind of plank bits here, which kind of, whoops, you can see like that, use that as a plank or something. But you take it apart, you put this in here, and you've got yourself a nice little barricade to put your minis behind and give them a little bit of cover. You can then take this other one using these two little stands and turn that into a a cool little bench. You put some of your swords and bits and pieces on there that can go behind the wall next to your tower for bits and pieces, and ultimately be kicked over for some cover. So you've got those two things on there as well, which is really, really cool. There's a couple of things on here which are specifically here to help you do to help you build things that are part of the main Northern Settlement set. So for example, you've got one of these here and one of these here, which basically allow you to make a gate, like a gated entrance when you've got the main, like I say, Northern Settlement set. But it's kind of a bonus having them on here, because ultimately, if you've got things like palisade walls and stuff, this just gives you a little bit of, you know, interest in shape, and you'll end up with probably a couple of these, because you'll probably grab yourself a couple of towers. So that's really cool, and you can always replace one of these little struts on a palisade wall with this one instead, and again you'll have a nice sort of horsey strut in there, something big and grand. And of course, ultimately you might have a gate or something that you're going to be assembling from the Northern Settlement anyway, using those. And then we've got a really nice long ladder. So here's your ladder for that all-important access at the back to get to your tower. And again, I've saved all of these little bits and pieces. These look great when you pop them into little barrels or have them scattered around the battlefield. So you've got yourself a nice little ladder there. And then lastly on here, little combat axes and some little bowls and scatter pieces like that. Lastly on here, you've got some fences. And again, these are identical, really, almost, to the fences that you would get on our normal fences from you'd get in like a village set or something. The difference is really that we've just changed the little post on it to become to give it like a little horsey post like this. Pop that out. I put that on there like so. There you go, and you've basically got the fence, but you've got a little horsey strut on it as well. And there's a gate on here as well, and there's two more fences. So there's quite a lot on this little sheet here, really, because you've got your main guard tower, and you've got your little your little bench, and you've got a load of swords and bits and pieces, and you've got your access ladder at the back, and you've got some little fences. And really, if you've got, I'd have at least two of these. If I've got the Northern Settlement, I'll get 2 in that anyway, but I'll probably take another couple as well, because it's going to give me extra fences, which is going to look great in my setup. It's going to give me more of these little barricades, which are going to be useful in my skirmish games. And it's just nice to have the 4 towers, you know, one at each corner if you've got a big setup, or just to have a wall of sort of aggressive behaviour and defences along there. But yeah, really happy with this. Nice simple build, but really effective, and it gives your Northern Settlement a nice little bit of height as well. Yeah, the Lookout Tower.